Good morning. My name is Cheryl Woodard, and I'm one of the meditation teachers here at Ecumenical Buddhist Society. I am here again alone today in our beautiful space, waiting for this COVID to let us go, bring us peace. But anyway, this morning I want to talk about Tich Nhat Hanh, and who died in the last few days ago, at the age of 95. And if you don't know who he is, I encourage you to Google him. And if you do know, you know that he's a figure kind of like Gandhi or Martin Luther King, who had enormous impact beyond his individual life. I learned in reading his obituaries that Martin Luther King nominated Tich Nhat Hanh for the Nobel Peace Prize, and they were very close. And his whole teachings in his life are still really relevant to today, especially anytime we're having hard times. My favorite quote of his, one that inspires me a lot, is he said that one calm person can save a whole boat full of refugees. And I think to myself, I can do that. I can learn to be the calm person in the room. That's a very practical, achievable thing, I think. And he wanted people to train in being calm and peaceful. That was his whole, like Gandhi, that was the whole, you can't change the world if there isn't peace in your heart. And this is actually the primary mission of EBS. We are here to help people train in being peaceful, because we all understand that if you have a peaceful heart, your whole life is going to go better. And we can't fix the world together unless there can be peace between us. So we need to cultivate peace. The question is, how do we train in peace, especially in the middle of conflict and hard times? People look at statues of the Buddha like this one, and they think that meditation means holding still like a metal or wooden statue. But you actually can't learn about peace by forcing yourself to do anything. And especially by trying to force yourself into a good posture. You can't, that is not peaceful, that's aggressive. And that's certainly not what the Buddha taught. In fact, what the Buddha taught is that peace is already in us. It is our natural state of being, and we get sucked away from it by the concerns of the world around us. And so the training in peace is there's many Buddhist practices for training in peace, but the essence of it is training to become flexible, open-hearted, and awake to the present moment. So you might do that by going through your day, pausing every so often to just take a deep breath and feel yourself, or something. There are many, many practices, and today I want to talk about the most basic one, which is called mindfulness, which is a translation of the Sanskrit word shamatha, and it actually literally translates as calm abiding. So what does mindfulness mean? Quite simply, it means paying attention, observing. Instead of forcibly holding ourselves still, the discipline in calm abiding is simply learning to notice what's happening in our own mind. It's like stopping to smell the roses, so to speak. It's stopping, to see, but to see, looking, observing, learning. And we do that by whatever's happening, looking at it without bias, without any specific agenda or expectations. It's just looking and letting things be what they are and seeing what that means. Actually, in the looking, we find all kinds of new information. With this kind of looking, we have a lot of insight. For one thing, for example, is the information that everything is permanent, impermanent. Every thought, every emotional state, every idea that you have comes in, blossoms, and then fades. And so nothing sticks around forever, nothing is permanent, which is a very liberating reality. So another way of looking is that we observe the quiet depths of ourselves. That, yeah, there's all this feeling, nervousness, anxiety, busyness, whatever going on, but there's also something else. And what is that? And what does it look like? And what does it feel like? And if you just sit and let you're creating a space basically where all these other parts of you can manifest themselves because they're quiet and subtle and gentle. So you're just creating and holding a quiet, subtle, gentle space so that you can see what's going on inside. But in terms of meditation, instead of this Buddha statue as a role model, I would invite you to think of a great big old tree. Deeply rooted, very healthy, very vibrant. And even though they're trees, actually right now in the winter when their leaves are gone, or even, I guess you can see that actually trees are very flexible. They move in harmony with the wind around them. They respond to the environment. Watch how a tree branches blow in the wind, move in the wind. Watch how flexible they are. Notice, take a look at them. They're very interactive, actually. Trees harbor birds and bugs and squirrels and all kinds of other animals and life forms. And they filter our air for us, purify and filter our air for us. And they create shade. They can lower the times. So they're really amazing and powerful and giving, and wonderful. So when you take up a meditation practice like this one, you can consider the tree being a tree. That is, you're just sort of going to plant yourself. You're not going anywhere. You're not running around. You're not running errands. You're not checking your email. You're just going to be a tree for a little while, but that doesn't mean you're dead or wooden or stiff. Live trees are very, very flexible. So now, I hope all of that is helpful, but let's do a meditation practice this morning, the one that's called Calm Abiding. And I want to point out that it has 3 parts. It has, first is settling, and then you open, and then you rest. So settling means adopting a relaxed and open posture, as well as an attitude of kindness toward yourself. You're doing yourself a good deed right now. So settle in and appreciate that. Openness means using your breath to release tensions, soften hard places in your body, and connect to the world around you, to the vast space around you. Opening. And then resting is letting go And I don't mean that you fall asleep or doze off or go blank. I mean that you let go in terms of what you just observing and see what there is without feeling that you need to do anything. You can even drop the technique of watching your breath or breathing, and you can drop the observance of your body and the settling and the opening, and you can just be. That's the idea of resting. It's being present, but also free right in this moment. Okay, so I'll begin that meditation. I'm going to turn the camera to the Buddha while we do it, but I'll be here, and then I'll come back at the end. So here we go. Okay, first, make sure that your body is in a relaxed but upright and awake position. Feel your weight settling into the chair or cushion beneath you, and also feel that you're fully supported and connected to the earth. Feel your torso rising up from this connected, supported place. In a relaxed way, your spine is actually going one vertebra stacked on top of the other, all the way up to the top of your spine, and your head is comfortably resting there. And the structure of your bones and your spine are flexibly and gently and powerfully supporting all the life that's going on in your body. Feel the warmth at the core of your body. Feel the length of your arms from your shoulders down to your fingertips. Notice your face. If there's any tension in your face, your mouth, your eyes, your jaw, just let that tension go. Your eyes and ears are open, but not focused on anything in particular. Like workers on a break, your eyes and ears are just standing around, hanging out, nothing to do, off duty. So I'm going to ring the gong now, and as you listen to the sound of the gong disappearing into space, let your body completely settle and relax. Now, I would like to call your attention to your breath. Notice how your belly opens to draw breath down into your body, and how your belly contracts to let it go again. Just notice how your body moves when you breathe. And for this morning, just in your mind's eye, picture that each in-breath brings in peace and nourishment to your body, and it fills every cell of your body with light and energy. Just picture that. drawing in the bounty of the world, if you will. And as you breathe out, picture the breath going far, far, far out into space, way out past the stars, connecting you to the whole universe, and especially to the calm, open spaces around you. So, let your breathing body become a refuge for your restless mind. When your mind wanders away or gets absorbed with something, just let it come back to your body and your breath. There's no problem. Everything is fine. You are fine. This is who you are. So I'm going to ring the gong again, and this time, do that visualization with your breath. Draw in nourishment, energy, light, goodness. And breathe out everything you don't need, tension, stress, everything you don't need. So while you're listening to the gong this time, and for a minute or two, just breathe. It's natural, as you sit here, that your mind will occupy itself with thinking. I mean, as long as we're alive, our minds are going to be active. But we don't have to be distracted by thoughts or emotions or anything that comes up while we're sitting here. Instead, as we sit here this morning, see if you can notice that your thoughts begin to settle down. They develop a flat bottom, so to speak, as one of my teachers used to say, because of your rootedness and your tree-like quality. Your thoughts are alive and moving, but they're different. They've changed. They are somewhat settled because you've settled your body and opened with your breath. So this resting part means letting your thoughts do whatever they need to do. You know, like birds coming and going from the branches of your tree. They don't last, they don't stay forever, and they don't change the tree fundamentally. They just come and go. Sometimes people have a hard time relaxing, like I'm asking you to do right now. And if you find yourself in that spot, if you find yourself just really squirming or just uncomfortable, you can try to use your breath to just encourage a little bit more peace. And you can do that by putting your hands, folding your hands in the base of your belly. Feel that your hands can actually warm the place at the base of your belly. And then deliberately draw your breath down into that place. Breathe 2 or 3 times deeply into that place and breathe out deeply from that place and send the air, the breath, all the way out into space. So draw it in all the way down and then send it out far, 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 far away. We call these cleansing breaths, and just 2 or 3 of them might shift the quality of your experience during this meditation if you find that it's hard to rest. But don't force anything this morning, and if you do find that it's impossible to rest, just accept that. You've seen the state of your mind. It's very, very rested and shaken up. And that's just how it is right now. So I'm going to ring the gong again. And as you listen to the sound of the gong, drop the effort to do anything. Just drop everything and rest where you are, whatever that looks like. So remember, essentially what we're doing here is we're settling into our body, letting our body settle naturally into the present moment, softening and opening our mind by breathing, noticing our breath, and then observing, looking, watching, learning whatever we can from what arises in that moment. And if you can do this frequently, 5 minutes in the morning, 4 or 5 times a day, whatever, you can really begin to connect with your compassionate and peaceful nature. Your whole life can settle down. You can be more like a person like Thich Nhat Hanh and his students. You can cultivate peace and share it with the world around you. It can be very powerful. So, I think that's it for the meditation. Let me just come back and say to you that a couple of things. First of all, Thich Nhat Hanh wrote dozens of really great books. I have 2 of them here that I highly recommend, and I really wanted to put them on the video because if I say their names, you'll just forget what I said. This one, is called Cultivating Peace. Being Peace, Thich Nhat Hanh. And then there's this one, which I recommend this book all the time to people that want to find out about Buddhism. It's called The Heart of the Buddha's Teachings by Thich Nhat Hanh. It's available widely, and I would say this one, the Peace book, if you're interested in the meditation itself and how to, besides meditating, how to cultivate peace in your life all day long, every day. And this one, if you want to know more, I can't stand how I can't work this camera. This one, to learn more about how what the Buddha taught and the philosophy and training that's common to all Buddhists. So we also have here at EBS, we have a practice group that meets on Thursday night at 7, and they're focused on the teachings and practices of Thich Nhat Hanh. So I encourage you to join them. You can Zoom in to their meetings right now, and eventually you could come in person if you're local. It's a wonderful group of people, and they've been at it for a while, so you can ask them more about what this wonderful man taught. He had a whole tradition, for example, of what's called engaged Buddhism, and it is very popular among people who are on the front lines trying to make the world a better place. And he speaks for them and to them about how to do that with compassion for themselves and with courage and openness. So I'm grateful very much that a teacher like him ever appeared in the world, and that his teachings, I pray that his teachings will remain in the world for a long time, and that we can all be inspired and learn from them. So I want to thank you for joining me this morning. Please stay safe and well, and know that you're not alone, that there's a world full of people who are doing exactly what you're trying to do, which is to cultivate peace in themselves and in the world around them. And by golly, we're here. It's happening. So I wish you all the best. Until the next time, stay well.